Now we're going to cut the pocket features to accept the op1 of the part we're machining. So we're going to go to models, and we need to make the actual part visible again so that we can machine a pocket that will accept this. Okay, so we're going to cut a pocket with a 1/4 inch end mill, but this fillet here is in diameter only 1/8 of an inch, and we don't have an 1/8 inch end mill in our inventory. So a common thing to do is to overcut the corners of items like this so that we can come in with a larger cutter, and we've just kind of drilled out the corner, and it causes a relief. So the best thing to do would be to actually come in with a 1/4 inch end mill or drill bit and drill this corner out ahead of time before we make the pocket. So we're going to go to drilling. We're going to select from our library the 1/4 inch drill bit. And we're going to pick we're going to pick the corners of our part here. And then on our heights tab, we need to do something creative. Actually, we'll leave this at the default settings, okay? But our whole bottom is based off the things we selected. We don't want to use that, so our whole bottom is going to be based off selection, and we're going to select the bottom of the bottle cap as our depth. Okay, and so it's going to go a bit deeper. It's okay if it goes deeper. It's extra clearance, and we're not using these faces as major registration points. Okay, so now we want to have the drill tip go beyond, and then we want to go a little bit farther. So we're going to go point 0.1 deeper. We're going to put our top height, instead of at whole top, at being selection, and we're going to pick the top of the soft jaw because the part's actually not going to be in the part. Okay, we're going to go to our drilling cycle, and because we're doing aluminum, we're going to do the deep drilling. 60 thousandths packs is probably fine at default, and then we'll go OK. Okay, now we're going to go to 2D, and we're going to do a 2D pocket command. We're going to select our 1/4 inch end mill from our library. Okay, we're going to go to geometry, the outside profile of the wrench body. But we're going to flip the arrow to the inside. We want to machine the inside of it. Now on the heights tab, we're going to take all of the defaults here except for selected contours. We picked the bottom of the chamfer, not the bottom of the part. So we're going to go to selection, and we're going to select the bottom of the part model. Okay, and we're going to leave all the rest as the default. Going to go to passes. We're going to leave this all at default, but we're going to select morph spiral. We're going to do multiple depths. Our maximum roughing step down with this cutter is going to be 0.125. We want a nice clean cut. We do one finishing step down. We're going to do even step downs. We're not going to do any finish stock to leave. On finishing passes, we are going to do finishing passes. We're going to go wear compensation. We're smoothing deviation there's 4/10. We're going to do one finish pass. We're going to step over of 10,000ths. And we're going to go up to here. This box was added, and we're going to finish only at final depth. And then we're going to go to our linking tab. I don't think we need a helix lead in. We're going to go to plunge. We're going to probably be plunging in the center where there's air. And we're going to leave all our settings the same, except for we don't want a vertical lead in radius. All right, we're going to hit OK. Thought we had already selected our 1/4 inch end mill for this, but maybe I didn't. All right, so we've got our major pocket. It's cutting away the major shape, but leaving these two little wings, if you call them. So let's cut those next. We're going to go 2D contour, and we're going to keep using the 1/4 inch end mill. And the geometry we're going to select. Okay, we're going to select open chains ahead of time. We're going to select all the features of that particular chain. We're going to flip it to the inside like we did before. Now we need to duplicate that on the opposite side. So it's one chain. We're going to select OK there. We're going to go to chains. We're going to select open chain. We're going to do our second one. Flip that to the opposite side. We're going to hit OK. So you should have two chains on either side with the arrows on the interior of the part. We're going to go to heights. We're going to leave most of this at default except for the selected contours. So we're going to go to selection. And I want to make these just the depth of the two wings. It'll help us with a little bit of registration. So let's make one of the vice jaws invisible so we can select the underside of our part model. And that'll set our depth for this cut. And we can make the jaw visible again. We're going to go to passes. Okay, we're going to go to wear compensation. We are going to do a roughing pass, maximum step over 1. But we do want to have our finishing step over a little less than this. Let's go 10,000ths instead of 25. I'm going to go to our linking tab. Okay, horizontal leading radius, leave it alone. Sweep angle 90 is fine. Linear lead in's fine. Vertical lead in radius 0. And we've really removed all the material around this, so there shouldn't be any issues with plunging. So let's hit OK. And then we have our cuts. Now you can't see them because they're embedded in the model. But if we were to make the part model and our two jaw models invisible, this is what you would see. Okay, so we're going to have a little bit of land there, and it's going to cut out a pocket. It looks pretty much like this. But remember, we got a 1/2 inch gap in the center. Okay, that's it for the soft jaw. Okay, now we're going to do the final ops for our part here. Okay, so we did our soft jaws. Most of the routines we do are going to be similar to op 1. Okay, let's highlight setups, and we're going to go new setup. Entire cam setup set up as our model. We don't want that. We want to just select the part we're machining. And before we do anything else, we're going to go OK. We're going to change the position of this. So we're going to move the setup jaws below Op2. And while we're at it, let's change the name of this Op2. Okay, and now we're going to go Edit. And the reason we change the orders of this is this allows us to use the stock from the previous operation. Okay, so if we had the soft jaws ahead of it, it's going to be the wrong operation. So we go to Setup, and we're going to go to a Z and X axis plane. So we're going to select our Z plane as the top of the part, and X axis, it needs to be an edge on the part, so probably that one. And we need to flip the axis so it's in the correct orientation, pointing to our right hand side. Okay, so we have that set up. Now where's our origin? Origin is based off our fixturing. So instead of using a box point, we're going to do a selected point, and we're going to pick the corner of our soft jaw. That way we can indicate on that when we create our setup here. Okay, now we're going to go to the stock tab, and everything should be as was. Let's go to post process. Let's put in our part number. It is 30612. So that's the second op. Op 2. Okay, and we're going to use fixture offset 1. Is it okay? All right. Okay, we have a bunch of operations that we can copy from our op1. So let's expand that. We're going to do the adaptive. We're going to right click on it, say copy, then we're going to highlight op2, right click, we're going to say paste. And it needs to be regenerated. Okay, so we're going to right click on that and hit edit. We're going to keep the 1/2 inch end mill. Geometry, we're going to use the same silhouette as we used before, and same silhouette selection. The heights tab, we're going to do something completely different though. So on our heights tab, we're going to select, instead of lowest of selected being the model bottom, we're going to go to highest of selected, and we're going to select model top. So we don't want to go any deeper than the top of the model, except we want to go negative 10 thousandths deeper, which we should have 10 thousandths enabled to go a little bit deeper so that we sure we don't leave any extra material there. And we want to go to stock top on our retract, and stock top on the top height, because this is the first operation. Okay, we're going to go to tab, the next tab. We're going to leave all this at default. We want to make sure the axial stock to leave is 0. We could have put it in there's a negative number there instead of here. We don't want to do this all in one depth, so we're going to come in here and we're going to leave all the stock to leave, but on our multiple depths, we're going to do a maximum step down of 0.25, which is 1/4 of an inch. We're going to linking tab, and we should be able to leave everything at default as we did on the opposite side. So let's hit OK. All right, so we've got our ramp ends, and we're cutting down to this level here. Now, in reality, this part of the hat's already cut off. If you'd like to go the extra step and import the stock from the simulation of the other side, you're more than welcome to. I don't go to that level of steps. Okay, so we got that roughed out. Now we're going to copy our face milling operation. So let's duplicate that. So we're going to go copy, go down to op2, right click on it, and we're going to go paste. And we need to do similar edits to this one. We're going to go edit, keep the same tool, 3000 RPM, geometry. We're going to keep the stock as our boundary, and our heights are going to be stock top, model top, stock top, highest if selected. Leave those all at default. Passes, we need to do multiple passes. We can't take this much material off. So our material is 2 inches thick. Our part is 300. Our stock is 1 inch thick. Our part is 300. So we have about 700 thousandths to remove. Okay, so we're going to do the same settings up here. We're going to do multiple depths. And our maximum step down is going to be 40 thousandths. We're going to let it go from both sides. So go back and forth. We're going to do a finish step. Our finishing step down is going to be 10 thousandths. We're going to use even step downs. And then on our linking tab, everything should stay at default. We're going to hit OK. So we get several steps coming down. That's quite a few, but it is a lot of material to remove. It looks like we probably should work with starting with less stock than what we're currently doing. Okay, so that should mill the face down. We go from our adaptive to our face mill, and it's going to take it down to finish height. Okay, we've already cut the pocket all the way through. So on the previous side, we did this pocket to do here, and then we did a trace that went around the outside edge. So we should be able to copy those. So go to the second 2D pocket with the 1/4 inch end mill. We're going to copy. We're going to go to Op2. We're going to paste. Alright. Let's just do these one at a time. We're going to go Edit. We should be able to keep that at default. The geometry, we're going to clear the old pocket out of there, and we need to select the one that's facing us. On heights, we should be able to keep all this at default. The depth is going to the selected chain, so that's good. We're going to go to passes. We're going to leave all this at default. On the linking tab, we can leave all this at default. We hit OK. Now we've cut our pocket on the opposite side. Now let's go grab our trace. We're going to right click on the trace in Op1. We're going to do another right click, copy, select Op2, right click, and paste. We're going to select the trace. We're going to go Edit. We're going to keep the first page at default, our geometry. Again, we're going to clear the geometry from the other side. We're going to select the geometry on this side. On our heights, everything should be able to stay at default. Passes should be able to stay at default. And linking tab can stay at default. So let's hit OK. We should get about 4 passes or 5. Cutting with the ball cutter. Alright, the next operation. So we got all that done. We don't have this tab cut. We have the hole cut all the way through. But I believe we need to do that, and we need to do these ears. Okay, so we did a couple contours. So we did our trace, and then we did a contour, which I believe was, hard to say what it was, but I believe it's the ears on the outside. So we're going to copy that routine. Copy that to Op2. We're going to right click on it. We're going to go to geometry, which was the outside ears, right? We're going to clear those. And we're going to go to chains, and we want open chain. And we want to select that ear. Hit OK. We're going to go around to the other side. We're going to select chain, open chain. Select our 3 segments. Hit OK. Make sure the arrows are on the outside. Go to the Heights tab. We selected a face on the other bottom. We don't want that. We want a face that's on the side we're cutting, so we're going to select the face on the side we're cutting. And we're going to go to the passes tab, leave all that default. We're going to leave linking pad, leave that all default. We'll hit OK. Okay, so we've got our cuts there.